All right, thanks for joining us. So the fall sports season is starting to wrap up here in the Centennial State, and over at Vail Mountain School, the boys soccer team, they played their last regular season scheduled home game of the year as they took on Basalt. Sitting at 9-3-1 on the year, the reigning Class 2A Gore Rangers were looking to close out their last regular season home game on senior night with a win over Basalt. Both teams matched up evenly in the first half and no goals were scored, but moving over to the second, Basalt puts one up, but VMS will answer on a handball that was called in the box. Rutley Heineman takes the shot and nails it to tie up the game at 1 apiece. Basalt will catch the refs later in the right moment with little time left in the game as they get a free kick to take the lead. Calam Ingles nails it and the Longhorns go up 2-1. The blue team doing everything they can to stay undefeated on the season at home, but it wasn't in the stars. Basalt spoils Vail Mountain School senior night as they take the win over the Gore Rangers 2-1. This marked their 6th win of the season, and head coach Salvador Cruz caught up with us for post-game chat. All right, so we're here at Vail Mountain School where Basalt just knocked off the Gore Rangers 2-1. Standing with me, head coach Salvador Cruz. Coach, what'd you like from your team today?
They went out there, did everything they could, nothing to lose. I said leave it out on the pitch, and that's exactly what we came and pulled it off.
And I think your record doesn't exactly speak for your team. You guys just got your 6th win of the season, but I think you guys are capable of so much more. Would you agree?
Yeah, absolutely. Day in, day out, we put in the effort in practice. Sometimes it's not up to par, but, I tell the boys that if they want to go out and win games, they got to put in the effort.
Okay, and you guys came up with the goals at the right times, it seemed like, in this game. You came into the second half after a stalemate in that first half. Got your first goal on the book. Vail Mountain School rallied back, got that PK in the goal, but then you guys answered with a penalty kick of your own. What were the emotions there when you got that penalty kick and you took the 2-1 lead late in the game?
Oh, my goodness. It felt great. I said, we're up 2-1. Let's try to hold it off. I was really surprised that the Vail goalie got a yellow for hitting the crossbar. I don't know if that's a new rule that's been implemented or not. Maybe he was doing it to taunt the kicker. However, 2-1. And I said, let's stick it out. Let's win this game. And that's exactly what we did.
And this is a good Gore Rangers team that you just beat on their home turf. They've got 9 wins on the season, and they're well known around the state. They're the reigning Class 2A state champions. What does a win like this do for your program? What sort of spark does it bring to your team?
My gosh, I find it absolutely encouraging, empowering. Telling these boys, what are the results after every other match? Win some, lose some, tie some. But, hey, I said, let's go out there and let's get a W. Let's get a goal early. It encourages the younger boys. I got maybe 6 or 7 seniors that are leaving us, so hopefully our next year will be a building program, obviously, but hopefully it'll give them a little boost and encouragement to come out here and do exactly what we did today.
And after you guys shook hands, great sportsmanship there. You booked it straight to the other side of the field to celebrate with the fans. What was that moment like, just celebrating with your team, with your fans?
It was amazing. Great feeling. I think this is one of our first, if not very few wins we have on Vail on their own turf. And just running over to the team and the parents, a lot of the parents are saying, we want you to coach this team, to keep coaching. And so that's my passion. That's what I love to do. I went over there, got all smiles, all hugs, so it's all good.
Okay, and you guys still got another game left on the season. I believe it's Roaring Fork, right?
Yes, Roaring Fork and then Aspen in Aspen.
Okay, well, what do you need to do to close out the regular season 2-0?
Roaring Forks is going to be a great team to battle up against, especially on our home turf. We seem to do a little better on our home court. Aspen, I know, is going to be a little tougher. It's up in Aspen on their home turf, so I think every team plays a little greater, I guess, should say, on their own home turf. So it'll be tough, but if we can close out 2 more games, that'd be awesome. That'd be a great way to end our season. And if we make it into the playoff section, it could be 1 or 2 games. Hopefully we can keep getting those W's.
Anything you'd like to add?
No. Thank you to the Vail Football Club for being out here with us, for having us. It's a great win for us, and I just, thank you for having us. Great job on the refs. I guess that's it.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Thank you.
Running through some other scores from around the valley now. Glenwood Springs fell to Steamboat 0-2 on Thursday. The Demons dropped to 8-4-1 on the season. Battle Mountain and Eagle Valley have a bit of a break before their next games, which come down the road next week. But the two matched up at Battle Mountain last week, and it was epic. Battle Mountain took the win 3-1 for the regular season sweep, where Jacob Methvin had all 3 goals for the Huskies. What a night for that guy. Last but not least, Summit High went over to Carbondale and caught a win over Roaring Fork 1-0 to put them one away from 500 on the year, which is great for this Tigers team. They've been struggling off and on over the course of this season, so another win should get them back on track. Switching over to the gridiron, Thursday night, Vail Christian took on Soroco at home, where they picked up a huge win, beating the Rams 67-14. And with this victory, the Saints improved to 5-2 on the regular season. Friday night, the Glenwood Springs Demons hosted the Durango Demons and were dubbed the Lesser Demons, unfortunately, as they were shut out at home 48-0. That's a tough loss over there in Glenwood Springs. Eagle Valley, no game this week over in Gypsum. They'll have a week to catch their breath before one of their last remaining regular season matchups. Pac-12 Media Week just wrapped up in Vegas as the 2023-24 season approaches for men's and women's basketball. Last season, the Buffs women's basketball team, led by J.R. Payne, finished third in the Pac-12, and this year they want to improve on that mark. Back-to-back trips to the Big Dance confirm head coach of CU women's basketball, J.R. Payne, is no stranger to success. Now she enters her 8th season at the helm in Boulder. What have you learned in these past 8 years that you can't wait to implement the most into a new season?
Great question. I mean, I think early on we learned it's really important to be just true to who you are and what you want to be about. And so we've worked really hard to recruit the type of players that we want to be around, kids that are blue collar, hardworking, tough, do their job, be a great teammate. And so that hasn't really changed for us. You know, now that we've really locked into that in the past many years, we've created a culture where we are those things.
Coming off a run to the Sweet 16, Payne's team returned some of the best talent in the conference. She believes preseason all-conference players Jalen Sherrod and Quay Miller will set the tone.
I would say that nobody in the world has higher expectations of ourselves than we do. Like I said, our veterans do a great job of making sure that we're holding ourselves to the standard that we believe we're capable of.
Payne's confidence runs high for the season, which entails a tough non-conference schedule, beginning with the reigning national champions. But the Buffaloes team is hungry for the challenge.
When you look at how tough our schedule is, that tells you how I feel about our team, you know, and our readiness to compete. We talked to our veterans about some of the games that were, you know, put in front of us, and our veterans said, absolutely, we want these games, you know, and so they wanted to be challenged in that way. We'll be prepared.
Payne believes the Pac-12 will be the most competitive conference in women's basketball this season. When league play starts, the Buffs will be ready. CU is set to take on LSU November 6th. Now we'll head over to the gridiron as CU football took on Stanford last Friday night, and the Buffs, they were on their hunt for their 5th win of the season, and a 5th win would mean 1 win away from bowl eligibility. Buffs lined up deep in Stanford territory. Shadur Sanders throws over the middle for Xavier Weaver, who makes the catch, touchdown Colorado, and it's all Buffaloes in the first half. Buffs lined up again late in the first quarter in Stanford territory. 3rd and 10, Sanders looking downfield and will connect short with Travis Hunter. Hunter throws that spin move and gets into the corner of the end zone for 6. Buffaloes blowing this game wide open, and they got to be excited to have their star wide receiver back in action. Back with the 1st and 10, across midfield, Sanders will air it out to a wide open Weaver, who just strolls in for another Buffaloes touchdown, making it look easy. Colorado building that comfortable lead in the first half, and they'll go for 2 here just for fun and get it. The Buffs would end the half up 29-0 on Pac-12 foe Stanford, but this is where the trouble started. Stanford puts up an early 6 points and doesn't get the 2-point conversion, but back with the ball, Ashton Daniels finds Alec Aomanor on the slant, gets by the Buffs secondary and is off to the races. Shiloh Sanders with a last-minute effort can't make the stop, and A.O. Manor gets in for 6 off a 97-yard reception. Cardinals back with the ball. A.O. Manor again comes down with the football and books it to that corner of the end zone. Roderick Ward can't make the tackle, and A.O. Manor is in for another 6. Colorado starting to let this one slip through their fingers, and it only gets worse for the Buffs as Stanford is able to tie them up to send it to OT. Cardinals with the ball looking to answer after the Buffs put up 6 in OT. Daniels finds who else but A.O. Manor, who makes the grab behind Hunter's back. What a catch to score for the Cardinals. Good coverage by Hunter there, but A.O. Manor is just too hot. Someone needs to check him. Back on offense, Sanders throws an interception, and all Stanford needs to do is knock it through the uprights to win, and Joshua Carty will seal the deal. Stanford wins it 46-43. Buffs now in danger of not having a postseason game with that loss. Taking a look at the remaining schedule, it's tough. They're on a bye week right now, thinking about that loss to Stanford and planning for a game in Los Angeles against UCLA, which I see as a must-win game. The following week, they match up with a strong Oregon State team for homecoming in Boulder. The week after that, they play at Arizona, which is put some good games together, honestly, in my opinion. Like, they beat Wazoo last weekend, so you can't really count that Arizona team out. Then they play a really good team at Washington State, and then a rivalry week game against Utah over there in Salt Lake City, the reigning Pac-12 champions. So both of those games are going to be tough for the Buffs on the road. A new week means a new top 25 poll too, which you can see there. UCLA, Oregon State, and Utah, all opponents the Buffs have to face this season, are all on this poll in the top 25. But exciting to see Air Force on there as well, who's coming off an important win at home over Wyoming. The Falcons sit at the top of the Mountain West Conference and are undefeated on the year as they sit at 6-0 on the season. And they got an important game against Navy on the road in Maryland this weekend. And looking here, you can see all the games this weekend of our FBS teams here in the Centennial State. Colorado with their bye week. They don't have a game this weekend. And Air Force, as we just talked about, they're going to be heading over to Annapolis to take on Navy. Colorado State, they're going to travel to Las Vegas to take on UNLV. Well, we're through 6 weeks of NFL football, and we've not really seen much excitement there from the Broncos since that win over Chicago a while ago. This past week, they matched up with the Chiefs, and it went about how everyone expected as the reigning Super Bowl champs knocked off our Broncos 19-8. Denver will turn the page and get ready for a matchup with Jordan Love and the Green Bay Packers this week at Mile High Stadium, and that kickoff is slated for 2:25 p.m. our time. The Packers have looked good this season, led by quarterback Jordan Love, but we'll hope that the Broncos can do a little damage this week on their home turf. Make sure to continue coming back to us for all the latest sports coverage around the Valley and beyond. We'll catch you next time.